Welcome to Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Phil Bussey, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about, well, an odd subject. You know, 2021, we've been 1 month into 2021 or so, and it's already 2020 on steroids. So, if you're not done watching Planes or or the show, I'm going to suggest some stuff for you. While we wait to see if this is going to be 1984 or Harrison Bergeron, or if it's going to end up something like A Brave New World or Jennifer Government or any other weird post-apocalyptic stuff, I'm just going to go into, well, a top 10 list. The top, I think it's top 10. Let me think for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yep. I'm going to say this is about a top 10 or so list of anime that you should be watching here at the end of the world. Or the end of America. Or Myanmar, or whatever you want to call it. While we're in this, we're going to be going over, well, anime you should be watching because of everything going on, okay? I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is what's going on, we're confused. Chill. You know, sit back. You're in good hands. Proverbs 3:5. Anyways, you're in good hands, and we're going to go over a top 10 of, well, kind of conspiratorial anime for you to watch, to occupy your time while you're sitting there wondering about different drops or whatnot. Yeah, so where we go anime, yeah. I'm actually going to talk a little bit about some of that stuff. By the way, buy AMC, buy GameStop, buy Silver. Do it. Just do it. And I don't have to suggest movies for you like Maxed Out or The Ascent of Money or The Big Short. Instead, I'm going to actually suggest that you set up a little list, and here's your homework. If you're a fan of animation, or rather a fan of anime, I'm going to give you a list of anime for you to watch to get those creative blood juices going to your head. Now, I know that some of these picks will be a little controversial. In fact, that's why, like, number 10 on this is I think you should watch Death Note. If you haven't watched it, you should rewatch it. The reason I want you to rewatch it is because, golly, it's a roller coaster of a ride. I would rather you watch Monster, but only half of that was released in the United States, which still angers me to no end. But, hey, you know, if we're going to be talking about, like, conspiratorial anime and the perfect ones for 2021, Death Note should be on that list. And it might still be. We're going to go through here and we might push some stuff off of our list. Yes, there's things we might want to mention, like Royal Space Force, The Wings on Amise. And you should watch that one too. But, let's get back to a more conspiratorial time. A more interesting time based off of what's happening in the world today. Conspiracies are everywhere. Everywhere. And you know what? We're going to talk about different anime, which I think will be appropriate and important for you to know. Okay, so last on my list, or rather number 10 on my list, is Death Note. The reason you should watch it is because it's a murder mystery with conspiracies abound, constantly changing rules, and it's just a thrill ride. Also, most of the time when you're saying you're watching Death Note, other people get really nervous around you, as if they think something's wrong with you. Here in the United States, we have, and also in places like Russia and Australia, there have been all sorts of things where people try and get this particular one banned, or they do get it banned, And it's ridiculous that that happens. But I'm going to say, yeah, top 10, number 10 on my list of 10 anime you should be watching because of all the stuff going down is Death Note. Yeah, I know, that's kind of a little weird one. Now, the next one on my list, number 9 on my list, has to do mostly with, well, it's one of those things where I can recommend this, but you need to seek it out. And the reason you need to seek it out, I will explain. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put down an anime. I'm going to tell you why I recommend you watch it. And then it's up to you to do the right thing and hunt it down. You need to watch Death Note because watch it while you still can, because a lot of places are still trying to ban it. Same with Attack on Titan for some reason. And My Hero Academia. That is really weird. Anyways, it's not like it's redo of Healer, right? Or Goblin Slayer. Anyways, Death Note. Number 10 on my list of anime you should be watching in 2020. Next on my list, Spice and Wolf. I know what you're thinking. What? Why Spice and Wolf? Spice and Wolf is a weird little, quote, romantic comedy, end quote, sort of, that's actually about currency manipulation. It's about economic principles and currency manipulation. And if you haven't been paying attention, currency manipulation and economics are super important right now. So, you should check out Spice and Wolf. That's on my list. I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, it's a weird list, Philip. What are you doing? What are you getting at here? Well, let's go a little bit further here. One of the crazy things about 2020 was, well, natural disasters. We had those man-made fires, and we also had, like, oh wait, yeah, there really wasn't much in terms of natural disasters, but it's a good idea to have a kind of a game plan of what might happen in a natural disaster. So, my next one on my list, so number 7, not 10, 9, 8 on our list is Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. You should watch this movie. Sorry, this show. It's super good. The dub is really great. The action in it is interesting. It's an interesting perspective because when they went to re-show this one in Japan, there was an actual earthquake. So they kind of that kind of put a damper on some things. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Now, the next one on my list, yeah, that's kind of a little out there, right? My next one on my list is kind of educational, I suppose. That's the best way to put it. I'm going to say that it's going to be Black Lagoon, available in a season set with both seasons, and then an OVA. This one here, it's kind of a peek of where we're going to have to go if we have to go be outlaws. Yay! Also, it's really great. The one thing about this list is that all this stuff in here is super good, but you should watch it because I'm kind of thinking that maybe you should know a little bit about these things. Maybe get in the right mind frame for some things. About some things that may have to happen. There's revolutions, there's political intrigue, got everything you'd want in a good little show, right? Dub is really awesome. If you loved Cowboy Bebop, you'll love Black Lagoon. It's pretty good. So far we've got Death Note, Spice and Wolf, Tokyo Magnitude 8.0, Black Lagoon. I know what you're thinking. Philip, this is a weird list. Why is this list the way it is? Well, like I said, it's based off of my thoughts about things, on where we're going, and maybe these things will help you. Here's one that is on this list, mainly because I love conspiracies. You love conspiracies. Let's talk about C, the power of money and control. It puts kind of a weird fantasy element on it. And when we're not talking about Q, the power of information and control, we're talking about C, the power of money and control. There's like a weird trend that goes on with some of these. About money making the world go round, or secret organizations, secret stuff happening behind the scenes to all sorts of secret conspiracies and stuff. And that's where we're turning the corner on this list. The next thing on this list, number 5 on our list, is Speedgrapher. Now, sadly, Speedgrapher is a little out of print. It's not on DVD. But the basic idea of it is that the main character in this, a photographer, discovers a hidden club, a bohemian grove, if you will, where the elite go to take part in all sorts of horrible debauchery. I mean, we're talking the whole nine. And the main character, a reporter, ends up getting caught up in this and somehow being bestowed superpowers from something in there. Something similar to like a gene editing thing. Like, I mean, it's not like we have RNA vaccines now that edit your genes. But, no, something happens and he's given a weird gift. And it transforms people into types of monsters. And this thing is, he's fighting back against some secret Hellion type of cabal. You know, they pretty much, they're people who like worship Moloch or Baal. They're the bad guys in this, feasting on adrenochrome or other types of drugs and such. That's what type of show this is. Also, sadly though, Funimation and Gonzo, or rather in the United States, these people were not able to, they weren't able to license the song that's used in it. Like if you watch it in the English dub or in the English release, it's got some pretty good opening music, but if you watched it in its original when it came out, it had Girls on Film by Duran Duran playing, you know, dun, dun, yeah, you know. Now the next one up here is more of a philosophical choice in here. And I'm going to tell you this, that it's a little controversial because I'm including 2 different versions of it. I'm including Kinos Journey. One thing we should keep grounded when it comes to conspiracy theories is overall philosophy. Now, the whole point of Kinos Journey is that the main character, Kino, and Kino's motorrad, Hermes, travel from country to country, spend about 3 days in each country. And each country has different laws and different things about it that make it unique. I recommend watching the original series first, and then watching the remake, which is A Beautiful World. They have different stories for the most part, and then some of the stories that are presented in Kinos Journey, The Beautiful World, are slightly different from how they were in the original Kinos Journey. In fact, I would say this show is a masterwork. It is absolutely phenomenal, and you should check it out. Let's see, we got 3 more for our list. What could they be? Well, weirdly enough, the next one on my list is actually strangely relevant. It is Eden of the East. The main point of Eden of the East is that there was a terrorist attack in 2010 on Japan, referred to as Careless Monday. And then that somehow attached to the main character who shows up outside the White House naked with a gun. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And his memory is completely erased. Now you find out there's like a secret organization that's working toward the betterment of Japan, possibly? And there's a game going on and all sorts of conspiracies. It says it on the back, you know, some conspiracies are more than theories. These people, these 12 people, work together for a indeterminate goal that may or may not help everyone. I don't know what that could be. You know what? I am going to go ahead and let's go forward from here. The next one on my list, you know what? This is not going to be a top 10. This could be a top 11. Because I realized going through this that I had a reason for every single one of these being on here. Even See the Power of Money Control, which, it should probably be up there by Death Note, but, you know what? Let's leave it where it is. Anyways, the next one on my list, on my top 11 now, is another great show about, well, conspiracies, government, futuristic tech. I mean, come on, this thing has some amazing stuff in it. And that would be Well, it's from the same director, same producer? Yeah. Rather, the same producer of this show, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. And, of course, Second Gig. Now, I love this franchise. This franchise is pretty awesome. I don't have a Rise or any of those, but I also don't care about those as much as I do about Standalone Complex, which is amazing, and the original film, N2. I even like the live-action one. But yeah, I think if you're a fan of government conspiracies or strange international actions, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex is for you. Now, in a way now, we're going to go into, well, what if all these conspiracies are actually in your head? The last one on this list is heartbreaking, but also, oh so good. Welcome to the NHK. The main character in here, considered to be a NEET, that's not an employment, education, or training, just kind of a shut-in, slowly but surely starts to believe that everyone is out to get him. Now, I've read the book this is based off of, and I love the show as well. In the book, the thing that doesn't translate into the TV show that they have in the book is the main character also takes like kind of addicted to certain types of drugs and certain types of antidepressants or so that are also kind of, yeah, it's that part's kind of left on the cutting room floor for the TV series. But one thing I also want to mention about all of these, the dubs in all of these are actually really good. All of them. So, you know, definitely something to check out. But yeah, last one on this list in this top 10 would be Welcome to the NHK. But it wouldn't be complete, and that's why this is going to be a top 11 without the the mother of all international conspiracy shows. I know, you'd think it'd be Eden of the East or Ghost in the Shell, but I'm going to say Read or Die. Now, this is the DVD release. This is actually really hard to find nowadays. I've got the movie in here, and I have all of the old Jenny On releases for it. And then I have the Blu-ray right over here. Read or Die is, well, the OVA itself is pretty good. I'd like to do a longer video about just Read or Die and go into everything that's in here. I mean, but when the original Read or Die came out, the second episode of the OVA was delayed by a bit because, well, the first OVA starts with like the destruction of the White House, the destruction of the Library of Congress, huge terrorist attack on DC, that stretches to New York, where at one point the main character launches a paper airplane off of the World Trade Center towers after a helicopter has crashed it. Yeah, seriously. That's kind of messed up. It's a good show. The main basic idea of it is that there is a secret organization waging war against another secret organization, and the main character in the OVAs, at least, is Yomiko Reedman, who has the ability to manipulate paper. And she's really into books. Actually, that's one thing I love about some of these shows. Like, the main character in Eden of the East is a cinephile, constantly making references to movies or so, and just perfect like that. The main character of Read or Die is a bibliophile, really into books. So much, you can look up some of that stuff. This one's really smart. But by itself, Read or Die is only okay. You really need just to watch the OVA and then watch the TV series. They complement each other perfectly, and they build off each other in such a symbiotic way that you'll look through it and go, man, that makes a lot of sense. There's some weird stuff in this. Like, I think in the second OVA for, let's see, let me just name off a bunch of stuff that's in this series. And much of it happened well before this stuff happened in real life. Like massive flooding in Hong Kong, By the way, the liberation of Hong Kong plays a part of this. A terrorist attack, Brexit, is in here at some point. This is way before that because these were made in 2001 to about 2006 or so. And, yeah, there's a lot in there. If you're a fan of international conspiracies or spy movies, or you like the Kingsman series of comic books and movies, you'll love Read or Die. Superpowered special agents. And now the Read or Die, ROD the TV, or Read or Die the TV, is a sequel. Takes place a couple years after the OVA. Completely different characters, sort of. It all ties back into it, and you've got all sorts of things. You got you have the DNA database. You have like the gene editing again. You have a bunch of other little small conspiracies here. You have people who, like, I can't go into so much of it because it's such a good show, and I really want to leave the mysteries of these for you to solve. Yes, actually that's kind of a big thing with a lot of these. You have international intrigue, mysteries, and conspiracies. But yeah, where you go 11, we go anime, right? Or something like that. Anyways, this was just a rambling video about, well, the anime you should be watching in 2021, and you should have been watching in 2020. All sorts of crazy stuff. Loads of fun. It'll take your mind off of all the weird stuff happening out there. If everything feels a little unreal, maybe diving into something that isn't real will make what is real feel more real. You know? Maybe, just maybe. Well, let me know in the comments below what you think. And thank you for sticking through this weird rambling video. Yeah. Let me know what you think. Hit that thumbs up, the share button, the subscribe button. Is there any more conspiratorial anime that you think we should talk about? Are there any of these that you'd like me to do a review of? Because we are going to bring those back. The little episode by episode things. Yeah, we'll bring that back. We'll figure a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Hit that thumbs up, that share button, subscribe button, etc., etc. And ring that little bell so you're notified whenever we have a brand new video here on Area DMG. And until the next video comes out, hold the line. Because you are now caught up.
Morning, Maya.